Well, well, well. I was just over there on the streets of Twatter. And you should know, baby, you should know that the love child of Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair is doing everything she can, honey, to help you in your despair when it comes to weather tragedies. Yes, she's devoting a whole lot of time and a whole lot of research into helping you out. Yes, honey, Marjorie. I mean, she took to the streets of Twatter expeditiously this morning to let you know that she is introducing a bill that prohibits the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. It will be a felony offense. Now, she says, I have been researching weather modification and working on the legislation council for months writing this bill. For months. She has spent months researching a conspiracy theory. Based on an actual fact, by the way. Yes, it's true. It's true. We developed technologies to do cloud seeding, where we put chemicals into clouds to make them disperse their rain expeditiously. We actually did this. We started doing this, I believe, during the Vietnam War. I'll have to go back and check on that. But apparently, with all her hours and months of research, she didn't find out that we don't do that anymore because it's really ineffective. They found out that no matter how much chemicals we shoot into the clouds, they really don't drop their rainfall like we wanted them to. So we just stopped with that altogether. Just stopped with it altogether. Yeah, we hadn't done that in decades. And by the way, Marjorie, it was the government that did that, not private companies. And you, dear Marjorie, actually work for the government. So there's that. But this is just another case where Republicans spend your hard earned money working on bills that are unnecessary, that have to do with conspiracy theories that they spend a whole lot of time researching. Like in the state of Texas, by the way, that spent all that time and taxpayer money to draft up a bill to make it illegal to put a litter box in a school, even though there were no litter boxes in school, no evidence of litter boxes in school, and it had been proven to be a conspiracy theory, clickbait to spread more hate. But either way, they took your taxpayer money and spent hours and hours, honey, drafting up an unnecessary bill built around a conspiracy theory. Because that's what they do, just like they're drafting up bills about undocumented people receiving Medicaid when we know for a fact that no undocumented person receives Medicaid or Medicare because being undocumented makes them not qualify. But we passed that big, beautiful, belligerent bill up there specifically because they said the cuts to Medicaid and Medicare had to do with the undocumented, even though there's no actual language in the bill that specifies that the cuts would be for undocumented because the undocumented don't get Medicaid or Medicare, so they couldn't quite put specific language in that bill to say that because it's not true. So those that will be cut from Medicaid and Medicare will be American citizens. But either way, it's nice to know that Marjorie is doing what needs to be done and drafting up bullshit ass bills instead of actually drafting a bill that would repurpose some of the funding that we've decided to give to ICE back to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Agency in order to provide satellite imagery about storms to pre-notify American people how bad they'll be. There's no draft, nothing in that bill about that. And she's not drafting up any bill that would force Petey Kegseth to cut back on that satellite that the Army was using to track weather. Nope, nope, nope. And as far as financial stuff goes and economics too, they rely on those satellites tracking weather so they know when and where they can send a plane to send products to you or when and where they can send a ship to send products to you. So without those services, there's going to be a little bit of a hem up when it comes to shipping and flights as well. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about conspiracy theories and shit that our government stopped doing in the 60s because it was just not working. So maybe she'll have a bill next that she can draft up, I don't know, to change the color of the sky or the grass, Because that might be a lie, too. It might just be the Democrats trying to convince you that the sky is blue and the grass is green. Y'all just let Marjorie do her thing.